Hi, I'm Hannes. I'm here at Gamescom to show Hitman, and I'm the studio head of IR Interactive.
So what were your goals heading into this latest Hitman game?
What we did is we looked at this 15-year-old series. We had 5 games out so far, and we looked at what made each of these games great, what our players liked, but we also were self-critical and looked at what our players didn't like so much, and to try to distill that into what becomes the very best of Hitman. And we took that as the starting point for our new game, and we based it on a new generation of hardware, so we looked at the features that we can only do with the power that we have at our hands today. And one of the focus points in the Hitman game is the AI, and we are very happy with the density that we have, with the possibilities we can give the players, the amount of AI we can simulate, and the living, breathing world that we have in the game.
What was the decision making of not having a subtitle like you guys have had in the past?
So, with doing that, with looking at the games that we had in the past and with building this new foundation, we want to send a little bit of a signal that we are doing that. So the story itself takes place after Absolution. So the game is not a reboot, it's a continuation, but the story is not really directly connected. So Diana is back as the long-term handler of Agent 47. He's traveling the world. He's in the world that we call our world of assassination because it's ever growing, ever expanding. He will travel to new locations all the time. And we wanted to signal that as a starting point. Also the starting point and foundation for games to come in the future, and this is why we called it simply Hitman.
So what are you guys showing here at Gamescom?
So at Gamescom, it's the first time that we show the world actual gameplay from the game, because we announced it at E3, and we had a gameplay trailer and announcement trailer, but now we show actual playthroughs, and we're pretty happy to the reactions we've got so far, and we try to be very true to all the promises we made, and people tell us this is the Hitman game, it's a true Hitman game again, and that is really very satisfying to hear.
So what's the environment, what's the situation you guys are showing here?
So what we're showing here right now is a level that we call the Showstopper, and it takes place in modern day Paris at a fashion show that takes place in the Palais de Villefscar, which is a museum during daytime in Paris, repurposed for that night. And the whole show is run by one of the 2 targets that we have, by Viktor Novikov, is the owner of this fashion brand. But he actually uses that as a cover-up for an actual selling of secrets they stole about European governments, and they're selling that to the world elite, whoever is willing to pay for that. And all these VIPs come into the fashion event, but in reality, in the background, his wife, Talia Margolis, is running the show to sell these secrets. And your goal is to infiltrate both of them.
Can you talk a little about this level and how it shows off some of the new gameplay mechanics?
One of the key things is that Hitman is a game about freedom of approach. So you can play the game any way you want it to. You can play it as an action game, you can play it as a stealth game, you can play it as a puzzle adventure game, you can walk around and listen and do like voyeurism in a social environment. And this location is perfect for that, because you enter, you feel like, like James Bond. You enter it, you have a suit, there are the rich and famous, you can walk straight in because you have an invite, or you can start to infiltrate. Every level we see a bit like a Swiss cheese, if I may say that, so you can go in and out and drill your own holes and find ways to infiltrate or exfiltrate the level. And the location is very good for that, because from the basement to the attic, every single room we have in the game is playable. It's filled with opportunities, with AI, with items, with things to do. And this is something that we hope is going to be very entertaining for the story, but also for our multiplayer mode, which is called Contracts, that we introduced in Hitman Absolution, where you can create your own targets. And we can now finally, with the power we have at hand and the technology we develop, simulate 300 completely real-time simulated AI entities, and each of them is a potential target in contracts on top. So even in this first level, which is not even the biggest in the game, you already have this huge offering at hand.